Hello everyone. So today we will understand how to download and install Zoom and use it. So without wasting any time, let's get started. Okay, so open your favorite browser. Here I am using Google and type Zoom download. Okay, it is always recommended to download Zoom from their official website, that is zoom.us. You will get the first link as download center Zoom. Click on it. And here you can see the download button. Okay, now we are installing Zoom for Windows. I am using Windows 10 here. You can save your .exe file anywhere in your PC. Choose a suitable folder to save your .exe file. It is a very small file of around 11 MB, so it won't take much time to get downloaded. As you can see, it has already been downloaded. Now, there are other versions of Zoom also, plugin for Microsoft Outlook, IBM Notes, and extension from browser, etc. But here, we are using Zoom clients for meeting. That is the first one that appears on the Zoom official page. Now, we will open the .exe file and install Zoom. Wait for the installation to be completed. We can take a quick look at what actually Zoom can do for us. Just click on the Zoom logo here. Okay, so we can host meetings on Zoom. We can host video webinar on Zoom. We can do conference Zoom on Zoom. It is also having a phone system, that is your audio will be listened by the other party or the receivers using a phone. Okay, and we can also chat using Zoom. Let me see if it has been installed or not. Yes, Zoom has already been installed. Okay, so if you want to join a meeting, you don't need to sign in into Zoom using an account. But if you want to schedule a meeting or host a meeting, then you have to sign in using Zoom. Okay, so I will click on the sign in button and I will simply sign in with Google. You can enter your email and password, or you can just sign in with these three options, and it is always preferable to sign in with Google for security reasons. So select the account you want to sign in with. And here a pop-up will appear. Okay, so open Zoom meetings. And it will redirect to you to an interface where you can host a new meeting, from where you can join a meeting, and from where you can schedule a meeting and share screen. Okay, now new meeting is a feature where you can directly start a meeting. That is, if you use your personal, there is a personal ID. Okay, now if you send this personal ID, then you can directly start a meeting right away without scheduling for a future date. But it is not at all recommended for security reasons. It is always preferred to schedule a meeting. Okay, so now we will learn how to schedule a meeting on Zoom. Okay, just click on schedule a meeting and here you can enter a topic. Okay, so our topic is how to use Zoom. Okay, now I will give a start date. I am giving the start date as of today, which is Thursday, May 7, 2020, and a time. Okay, here 14:00 means that is 2 p.m. Okay, it is a 24-hour clock system. Now duration. Okay, since we are using a free package of Zoom, we are allowed for only a 40 minutes time limit. Okay, When I click on 45 minutes, you can see a pop-up appears. Your Zoom basic plan has a 40-minute time limit on meetings with 3 or more participants. Okay, so I have to click on 30 minutes, and when my 30 minutes will be over, then Zoom will automatically schedule it for 40 minutes. Okay, now there is an option of recurring meeting also. If we click on recurring meeting, then what happens that we don't need to specify a specific time for hosting a meeting. This link will be active for all the time. There is no specific time to join the meeting if we click on recurring meeting. So it is also not preferred. Always host a meeting and give a specific time so that it is more secured. Okay. Meeting ID, keep it generate automatically so that every time you get a new meeting ID. Now, if you use a personal meeting ID, then every time your meeting ID will be same, and anyone can misuse this personal meeting ID. So, I will recommend you to keep a ID which is automatically generated. If you click on require meeting password, then the users who want to join your meeting has to enter the password before they join in a meeting, which is always recommended. Okay, don't keep your meeting open for everyone. Always keep it password protected. Now there are two options for video: host video on and off, and participants video on or off. Which means when the meeting starts, will the host video start automatically? No, I am keeping it as off. Now the participants, will the participants video start automatically? No, so I am keeping it as off. Now audio. Telephone means that the joiners who want to join your meeting has to call at a number and they will receive your audio using telephone. Computer audio means they don't need to do anything. They just need to join your meeting using your mobile phone or PC, and they will listen to your voice or audio using the audio system. Telephone and computer audio, that is both telephone as well as computer audio. Now calendar, you can choose any calendar here. I'm going to other calendars because I don't want to dump everything in my Google calendars. Okay, now click on the advanced option and let's see what we are having here. Enable waiting room. Now what happens if enable waiting room is checked, that if a user wants to join the meeting, then you have to click on the admit button, which will allow the user to enter the meeting. Okay, now this is more secured because you will be able to see that who are requesting to join the meeting. Okay, now if you disable this waiting room option, anyone can join the meeting, whoever has got this meeting ID and password. Okay, so I will enable waiting room for a robust security. Enable join before host, which means that the participants with whom you are sharing this meeting ID and password can join the meeting before the host has joined. Here I am the host, so before my joining, the other participants can also join, but I don't need that. Until and unless I or the host join the meeting, I won't allow anyone else to join the meeting. So I will uncheck it. Mute participants on entry. Yeah, I think this should be checked according to my personal view, because if a teacher is conducting class with 100 students, okay, and the participants have not mute them, then there will be a chaos in the class and no one will be able to follow. So it's a good practice to enable this checkbox. Automatically record meeting on the local computer. Okay, now if you click on this checkbox, then the meeting will be automatically recorded on your local computer. And if you don't want to record the meeting on your computer, then don't check this box. Okay, right now I am not checking this box. I will show you how to record the meeting while you are inside a meeting. Okay, so if you want the meeting to be recorded from the beginning till the end, then it is preferred to check this checkbox. Okay, now I will schedule this meeting and I will invite my Okay, so now I have sent the invitation to my friends. Now you can see the meeting is from 2 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. But now the time has exceeded, so that is not a problem. Okay, the time may exceed, you can start the meeting in between. Now, if you want to change something in your meeting, that is, if you want to edit the time or anything in your meeting, so you can come here to meetings and edit your meeting. Like you can change the topic, you can change the date, time, everything you can change, and click on the save button. The meeting ID, password and link, everything will be same, so you don't need to send the invitation again. Yeah, if you are changing the time, then please let the users know that the meeting has been postponed or preponed. Okay, so now we will start the meeting. We can start directly from here. Okay, so now here it is showing that fail to detect your microphone. Please make sure your microphone is properly connected. I have not connected any earphones to my laptop, to my PC. So now I will connect an earphones and you will be able to see that this error has gone. Okay, now as I have connected my earphones, that error is not showing. Okay, now I will click on join with computer audio. If you want, you can test your speaker and microphone. Okay, so now you can see my friend is requesting me to enter the meeting. Okay, now so if you go back in the video, you will see that I have enabled a button of waiting room. Okay, so since I have enabled the waiting room checkbox, it is asking me to admit this user. Now if I wouldn't have checked the waiting room checkbox, then this user could have joined the meeting automatically. So I will allow this user to join the meeting, and here you can see that there are two participants here. I will click on the participants, and here two participants are there. One is the host and one is my friend. Okay, now as you can see that on the screen we are unable to see anything. Okay, just a white screen because none of us has started our video. If I start my video, I will be able to see the participant on the screen. Okay, now I have started my video and I can see that there is only one participant here. I have unmuted myself. That is if I that is the users in the meeting won't be able to listen to my voice. Okay, now if I unmute myself, then the participants and everyone in the meeting will be able to hear what I am speaking. Okay, so there are more options for participants. Like suppose if you see that someone is creating disturbance in the meeting, then you can mute and unmute the participant according to your own wish. Like here Ashika is now muted herself. I will unmute her. Okay, so now you can see that I have unmuted her, and I will be able to listen whatever she speaks. I can mute her also according to my own wish. Okay, now there is an option of security. Let's see what all options are here. Lock meeting. If I lock this meeting, then no one else will be able to join the meeting again. Okay, if I log this meeting, only those participants who are there in the meeting will be able to attend this meeting, and no one from outside will be able to attend this meeting. No one can join this meeting after I log this meeting. Enable meeting room. If I check on it, then I have disabled the waiting room, and no one and the prompt will not come in front of me like whether I want to admit the participants or not. Share screen, like if I want that the participants can share screen, then I will check on this button. If I don't want the participants to share their own screen, I can simply disable this. So now the participants won't be able to. Now see, as I have disabled the waiting room, one participant simply joined the meeting. I was not given a prompt whether I want to admit this participant or not. Okay, so it is always preferred to keep enable waiting room checked. Okay, now if you are a teacher, like I don't think that if you are a teacher you will wish that the participants could share their own screen. That can create a chaos in the meeting. Okay, so for a teacher I would recommend that please disable this check screen option. Now chat should always be enabled, as the students can give their attendance in the chat box. I will show you how to do that. Rename themselves, that is, if anyone wants, then they can rename themselves during the meeting. Remove participants and report is generally if you want to report something is happening wrong in the meeting or something. And remove participant I will show you later. Now I've got 3 participants here. As you can see in the top, the view that there are 2 more participants along with the host. So these 3 participants are participants including the hosts. Okay, now you can change the view how you want to see the participants. There's a speaker view, gallery view. You can switch in between them according to your suitability. There is a chat box. If you click on the chat box, you can type a message and everyone can see that message because it is sent to everyone. Okay, now if I click on this, I will be shown the option of all the participants who are there in the meeting. I can click any one participant and send them a message privately, which will not be seen to everyone. Okay, now you can take the attendance from the chat box itself. Like you can ask everyone to type in their name. Like my friend has written his name. Okay, so now his attendance has been taken, and then you can simply save the chat in your local computer so that you can afterwards give them the attendance as per the preferred mode. Okay, so I'm saving the chat and chat has been saved. I will simply click show in folder to go to the folder where chat is saved. It will take me to the folder where the chat is saved. Okay, now this is a common path for each and every computer, which is this PC, documents, Zoom, and then the date of the meeting as well as the title of the meeting. So this is a common path for each and every computer. We'll go back to our meeting room. Okay, now here I will keep everyone, and when I click on the everyone option, you can see here I can see the option of a file. Okay, now using this option I can send a file to everyone. Now when I click on it, I'm getting 4 options. Okay, I will click on your computer. If I click on your computer, I can send files which are stored in my own computer. Okay, so I can send any file to the users or to the person who are there in the meeting. I'm selecting this solution to question number 5 and opening it. Okay, so now you can see I have sent the file successfully in the chat box and anyone can access it from there. Now the one problem that we have faced while sending this file is that if someone is accessing the meeting using a mobile phone, then most probably he won't be able to access the file. Okay, this is a problem we have faced while we were hosting our own meetings. But if he or she is using a computer, a desktop or a PC, then they will definitely be able to access this file. Okay, now participants, like I'm not talking about the host, the participants who are using the chat box can chat with. If I click on no one, then the participants won't be able to chat here. Even if they want to chat, they won't be able to give any messages in the chat box. If I give host only, then all the messages will be received by the host. Whatever the participants want to convey, the messages will be received by the host. Now everyone publicly, that is, if I click on everyone publicly, then the participants won't be able to chat with each other in private messages. Like here I have messaged in private mode, but if I click on everyone publicly, then the participants will be able to chat in the chat box but not privately. Okay, now everyone publicly and privately, that is, participants can send private messages to anyone as well as they will be able to send public messages simply by checking on these options. Okay, Now chat has been done. Now we will go to share screen. This is one of the most important features in Zoom, that is sharing of the screen, and very helpful while conducting online classes. Okay. So now I will click on share screen. Now as I share screen, there are many options that we are getting. First we will go to whiteboard option. If I click on whiteboard option and share, it simply gives me a whiteboard. I will maximize this. It simply gives me a whiteboard where I can type a text just I am typing in a blackboard in school or college, and everyone is able to see this. Each and every participant is able to see this. I can select anything here and simply drag it anywhere in the screen. I can add a text box, like here I have added hello, we are text Thomas using a text box. We can draw any shape here. There is a curved line, there is a straight line, a rectangle, a circle, checked boxes, checked circle, anything. Suppose I'm clicking on arrow, I can simply draw an arrow here. Okay, I can give a stamp mark. Okay, now if any, now see what happened. Like a student in the screen, a student from like a participant has drawn something on my screen. Okay, now this is very irritating during a class. Okay, now what will you do? Will you always click on the eraser and erase all these things? No, it is very annoying, very annoying thing. Okay, so now just hover, you are screen sharing, just hover here, go to more, and here you will see disable participants annotation. Okay, just click on it. Now if you disable participants annotation, then what will happen, that even if the participants are trying to make those lines or circles on the screen, they won't be able to do it. Okay, so when you are conducting online classes, it is always recommended to disable participants annotation. And if once you disable, then you don't need all these options like show names of annotators. What you can do, if you want to catch those persons who are doing all these things, then you can allow them to annotate and just click on show name of annotators. So whenever someone is drawing on the screen, you will be able to see who is actually drawing on the screen. Okay, so now let's come back to our features. Now see, as someone is drawing on the screen, the name is showing Pulkit. Here Pulkit is drawing, so you can simply catch the person and give them a good punishment afterwards. Right now I will simply disable participants annotation and erase this one. Okay, so we are having some stamps also, an arrow stamp, a correct stamp. We are having a spotlight. You can just brighten this, like, okay, I'm using this thing, I'm on this point, I'm explaining this point. So this spotlight is kind of highlighter which will highlight the point you're actually explaining. Okay, I have got eraser. I have showed you the functionality of eraser. You can simply erase items. There are color, like suppose if you want to change the line width and select a color, and then here you select a line, then see you can draw using that, and here you can change the color using format. There is an undo option also which will undo the last task that you have done, and a redo option which will again do the simple again redo the last task that you have undone. Okay, clear option, you are having 3 options: clear all drawings, which will clear the whole screen; clear my drawings, which will clear whatever I have drawn; and clear viewers drawing, like someone is annotating, so you can use this for clearing those drawings. I will clear all the drawings here and see everything is gone. Okay, so I will again type text Thomas or text here so that I can show how to save a whiteboard. Now you can click here save button, and the whiteboard is saved. You can click in show in folder, and the whiteboard is saved as an image. Now you can share this with everyone in the meeting so that they can refer to this whiteboard for future use. Now always remember, in every PC this is the common path where all your Zoom items will be stored. Go to this PC, go to documents, you will find a folder called Zoom, and the meeting date, the meeting time, and how to use Zoom. Okay, now I will minimize this folder and stop. One of the most important feature of share screen is sharing the screen which is right now active on your PC. Okay, so we will click on share screen, and here you can see the option of screen, and we will simply click on share, which means the present screen, whatever is showing on your screen, is being shown to the participants also. Okay, so in this way you can share a PPT. You can just open a PPT in front of your PC, and that can be seen by all the participants in the meeting. So as I have opened a presentation here, now this presentation can be seen by each and everyone who has joined the meeting. If you want to stop the sharing screen, then you can simply click here and stop sharing. Now I will show you how to record the meeting while you are inside a meeting. So you can see there is a button called record. Okay, so you can simply click on it and the recording has started. So now this meeting is now being recorded. There are reactions that you can give, that everyone can give. Suppose your students, you're explaining something and they want to react, then simply they can give the reaction, and here at the top of their tiles where where you can see who are participating, and reaction will be shown. Now Pulkit is giving me a thumbs up reaction. Okay, so now these are all the basic features. Now if I click again on the chat, you can see the chat box has disappeared. These are all the basic features of Zoom which is required to successfully conduct a meeting. Now since you can see the meeting is being recorded, I will stop the meeting and show you where your meeting is stored. I've stopped the meeting, and see there is a prompt that the recorded file will be converted to MP4 when the meeting ends. That is, the meeting has been recorded. It is not in MP4 format right now. When I end the meeting, a conversion will take place to MP4 format, and it will be stored in the same location where our chat file and our whiteboard has been stored. Okay. Now these are all the basic features. Yeah. Okay. One more feature that you can use with the participants is that you can kick out the participants. Okay. Now here if you click on remove button, then the participant will be removed. Okay, I'm removing one participant here, and I will show you the other features with the other participant. Now when I click on remove, it will give me a prompt, and I can simply remove this participant. So the participant has gone. So I will go on manage participants, or I will simply click on participants. I can see Pulkit is here. I will click on more. Now if I click on ask to start video, it will simply send a prompt to Pulkit that please start your video. Okay, and now see that this guy has started his video. Now I can stop his video. Okay, he is sharing his video, but I don't want to see his face, so I have stopped the video. Make host, I can make that person host, but like only if you trust the other person as that he can manage the meeting, or he won't do any funny task in the meeting, then only make the other person host. Allow record, I'm allowing Pulkit to record this video. Okay, if I am the host, only I am able to record this video using the Zoom internal record feature. Now as you can see, Pulkit can also record the video. He has started the recording, and you can see a record symbol, a red color dot surrounded by a black border here. That means Pulkit is now able to record the meeting, and he has recorded some portion of the meeting. And now this is also specific, like only allow these to for only to the trusted person. Okay, as if someone can record the meeting and misuse it for anything. Okay, forbid record, that is, now since you have given the permission, you can also take back the permission for recording. Rename, I can simply rename Pulkit to my friend. Okay, so now you can see Pulkit has been renamed to my friend. The host has all these features. The host has all these things the host can do. put in the waiting room. If I put Pulkit in the waiting room, he will be waiting in the waiting room and he will no longer be in the meeting. Okay. Now I have put Pulkit in the waiting room. So now only one participant is there and one is waiting in the waiting room. I can admit my friend directly from the waiting room. Now he is joining the meeting. Let's wait for him to join. Okay, so now he is here. Okay, now I will not keep his name as my friend. I will rename him to Pulkit again. We have got the remove option that I have explained you before, and the report option. If I want, I can report to Zoom that what was the problem with Pulkit, and it will go directly to the Zoom. Okay, I can invite persons from in between the meeting. Now contacts, like I don't have any contacts here. I can mail them directly from between the meeting that please join the meeting. I'm using the Gmail feature here. Okay, so it will directly redirect me to my Gmail. And I can type in the mail ID of my friend and see automatically it has given us the message of joining the meeting, like the meeting ID, the URL and everything. And I have typed the email ID of my friend and I can directly send him. So he will receive a email of for joining the meeting. Again, I can simply copy invitation and send it over WhatsApp or a normal text message. I can mute all. If I mute everyone, then all the participants will be muted. First, let me unmute it. And then when I click on mute all, you can see that I have muted my participants. Unmute all will simply unmute all the participants. So these are all the basic features of Zoom meeting which are required. Okay, so now one more person. See, like in the starting of the video, I have always told you to enable waiting room. Now, as you can see that one more person is wanting to join the meeting, but suppose I don't know this person and I don't want this person to join the meeting. So I will simply click on remove. Okay, so that person will not be allowed to join the meeting. So this is an advantage of always enabling that enabling the waiting room. Now I can simply stop the video on clicking on stop video, so the video will not be shown. Now if no one is sharing the video, then what I will see is in front of the screen. This is how my interface will look if no one is sharing their own video. I can mute myself also. It's very simple. Okay, so these are all the basic features. I don't find that I have left with anything. Okay, now, okay. Since you are the host, I will always tell you to end the meeting. Never shut the meeting from here. Otherwise, the meeting won't end. Okay. So always click on end the meeting. This will end the meeting. So I'm ending the meeting right now. I've told you how to join the audio. I've told you how to share the screen, and I have told you how to invite others using mail and everything. So this is basically how Zoom works and what you need to know about Zoom for hosting and scheduling a meeting. I'm ending the meeting right now. End meeting for all. If you are the host, obviously, end meeting for all is the best option for you. So end meeting for all. And you will soon see that a meeting recording has been started, that it has started. Remember, we have recorded the meeting, so it has started to convert the meeting to an MP4 video so that we will be able to view that. Okay, now the recording has been finished, the converting has been finished rather, and see the video is here. We can double click on it and simply play the video to see what it has recorded and how the quality of the video is. You can see the video has been recorded. So this is it. This is everything for the Zoom meeting. How to host a meeting and how to use all the features, all the advanced features rather in Zoom. And believe me, if you follow all these steps, then your meeting is quite secured and there will be no trouble in conducting a meeting. Okay, so now you can host your own meeting on Zoom. Thank you. That's it for